Welcome back to CryptosRus. I am George. We're all George. So Michael Saylor finally responds to Bitcoin Ordinals, the NFTs and memes that exist on top of Bitcoin's network. Now we know Bitcoin's network is congested right now. So what does Ultra Bull Michael Saylor think? Let's take a look, and also let's talk about what to expect tomorrow. Big CPI inflation report coming up. Let's discuss. Welcome, guys. Hopefully you guys are doing good. You know what? Let's just start with what's coming tomorrow. U.S. market has been red for quite some time. People are worried about this. No surprise. CPI inflation data is coming out tomorrow. Now, most are expecting the numbers will go down, continue to go down from March to April, and also from last March or last April to this April, right? So overall, I think we can see good numbers, although maybe we don't see anything at all. Maybe we stay at that 5%. Okay, so according to all these banks, vast majority is thinking that CPI inflation will stay at 5%. JP Morgan thinks will go down a little bit to 4.9%, as well as some other banks. And there's some banks that think that we may go up 0.1%. So overall, it does seem like maybe we're just going to stay flat and do nothing, right? Which could be a win. But if we do come lower to 4.9%, or we go to 4.8% or 4.5%, anything that goes below these numbers will absolutely be fantastic. Because then basically everyone's going to assume that Powell does not need to raise rates anymore and everything should stabilize. And then we can look forward to rate cuts rather than rate hikes, right? No more hikes, too many. We need some cuts. We need a Fed pivot. That's what people are waiting for, right? So that's what we have to look forward to tomorrow. It'll be before my stream starts. So overall, good. Good. Now, the second big thing is Ordinals. What is Ordinals? Ordinals utilizes this new inscription feature that has been upgraded. Well, Bitcoin has been upgraded to support this. So Ordinals are basically NFTs and meme coins that are built and residing on Bitcoin. So it has gotten really bad. So now people have started complaining about congestion, unconfirmed transactions, high transaction fees. So sounding a whole lot like 2017 once again. And for the first time since 2017, miners are getting more for transaction fees than they are for actually solving the algorithm and actually getting more Bitcoin, right? So that's what it's come to because there are so many transactions to process right now. And this is absolutely exploding. Here's another chart that kind of shows this. Look at the transaction fee on the right side, right? Has absolutely exploded, even higher than peak of, or close to peak of 2021, but also higher than 2017. So this has a lot of people concerned, very, very concerned. Okay? In fact, so concerned that the devs are now talking about, at least some, are talking about removing Ordinals altogether, treating it as spam, and since they want to make this as a bug fix, they don't need to wait for a major release. That is what's being talked about right now. Okay, what happened to consensus, right? What happened to votes? But there are some that are so threatened and so angry about Ordinals that they actually want to implement like a bug fix and just wipe out all the Ordinals and inscriptions and everything else that has come to Bitcoin's network, right? That's absolutely the wrong move. You can't just do that. In fact, more usage, more adoption is better for Bitcoin. Okay, it's really that simple, right? You want more people to come aboard. You want people to get excited about something, especially right now. It's kind of boring, stale, right? New technology, new innovations, new projects being built on top of Bitcoin's network. What better network than Bitcoin's network, right? Bitcoin maxis always try to shame Ethereum and say Ethereum is bad and is evil and is stealing all the money away from Bitcoin. Well, I mean, steal it back, right? But there are so many maxis that's really, really, really angry about this. And you would figure someone like Michael Saylor, the ultra bull Michael Saylor, would think the same way, right? But you know what? Someone sent me this full interview that he had, and I have a clip for you guys. He thinks differently, very differently. In fact, it's not what I expected at all, not one bit. So this one is a shorter, condensed version, right? Let me play this for you guys. And he thinks about this totally different than everyone else.
So I think that what happened with ordinals and NFTs is we crossed this chasm from what was a bearish scenario to a bullish scenario. If I was a miner, I would be ecstatic. I think that long term, there are a lot of implications. Long term, the implication is there's going to be a lot of applications on the Bitcoin base layer. You know, if I can inscribe a piece of art, right, an NFT is kind of an art, but I could also inscribe my last will and testament. And if my last will and testament is moving $1 billion from me to you, how much is it worth to you to have that burned onto the blockchain and cryptographically verified?
Yeah, at least $1 billion for me, Michael.
Would you pay 20 bucks?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Would you pay $100?
Of course.
There you go. So there are interesting applications. So I think that what happened with...
There you go. There you go. Saylor is thinking about the bigger picture, right? The whole interview, he actually talks about how he supports anyone to create anything, right? He may not recommend it, but he supports it. But the fact remains, you can expand upon this. NFTs is not just silly pictures. You could do contracts, you could do wills, and he talks about business contracts. He talks about what if you needed to send a contract that's worth $1 billion from one country to another. What better network to put it on than Bitcoin's network, right? So Michael Saylor is actually thinking about the bigger pictures. So he thinks ordinals, inscriptions on top of Bitcoin's network is a good thing. Is a good thing. And that blew my mind. I honestly thought Saylor would be really against this because, you know, he's kind of conservative in his ways with Bitcoin especially, right? But, I mean, think about it. He's going way beyond here. He's talking about putting your will, contracts, right, trusts on top of Bitcoin's network and utilizing that to pass it on, right? And what better network to store it on? Because you can't hack it, you can't break it, you can't shut it down, right? Genius. So that's what I think also. The more usage you can put on top of Bitcoin's network, the better it is. The better it is. And let's not forget, we still have the Lightning Network, okay? We have the Lightning Network that's still very fast, very low fees, and exchanges and wallets, you know, they have yet to really embrace Lightning Network. But if they do, well, a lot of the fees, the massive fees that people are complaining about, like $20 per transaction, that actually goes away. That goes away, right? So it's really just the beginning. Like I said, ever since this came out, you got to give it some time. We're so early. Things are still being worked out. They're not going to be perfect right away, but Bitcoin's network will get through it. It will. And there's going to be amazing things that happen on top of the network besides just being a decentralized network, right? A secure network, besides being a meeting exchange. You know what? Now it's a smart contract network too. What's not to love about that? And you know what? I want to remind you guys, 1 million addresses, a big milestone. 1 million addresses now hold one full Bitcoin. One full Bitcoin. Whole coiners. a million people on the planet. Actually, it's not, because there's most people in the space have more than one address, right? You know that that's true. So I would say maybe realistically a fourth of this, maybe even a fifth. So you're talking about what, 200,000 people on the planet that have one Bitcoin. So if you're among them, awesome. But if you're trying to reach that goal, well, keep going. You don't want to wait until Bitcoin is at $1 million before you start. You still want to do it while it's affordable and cheap, and everything else that's going on that I've been talking about, the macro conditions, with the 4-year cycle, with the fundamentals, right? All looking pretty good for Bitcoin. Looking pretty good. What else is there? Well, the 5-year HODL wave is at an all-time high. Bitcoin, 29% of Bitcoin have not moved in 5 years. Again, due to the holders and strength of the holders and people that keep DCAing. And you know what? Even companies, fintech companies like PayPal, I'm no fan of PayPal. I'm not going to pretend like I like PayPal, but there's a lot of people that use them, and their crypto holdings have doubled, up to 1 billion in crypto holdings, right? Fintech companies also getting involved. Credit card companies like Visa, MasterCard getting involved. And you got banks getting involved, right? Everyone is getting involved. Just pay attention. We are still so early, but yet there's so much going on and everyone wants a piece. That's exactly what's happening. A couple of SEC news. First of all, SEC ordered by a judge to respond to Coinbase. Remember, Coinbase sued SEC because basically they want to answer whether or not security laws applies to digital assets. The answer should be yes, but SEC refuses to respond. They don't want to respond because they want to keep it vague. So that way, no one can ever get a clear answer from Gary in terms of what's a security, what's not a security, how do we register, things like this. But Coinbase is forcing the issue. A judge has ordered SEC to answer within 10 days. Let's see if SEC somehow could get out of it, wiggle out of it, get a continuance or I don't know, appeal or something. But it's a simple question. Not sure why it's so difficult for the SEC to answer. But in addition, Gary is proposing that Gary himself and the SEC should monitor crypto custody. They should be the agency that approves this. Okay, so Gary wants more power once again. He thinks that exchanges like Coinbase and Binance.us or whoever, right, they're not qualified to be custodians. The SEC is, and they want to take control of that. And even others, you would figure, of course, people in the crypto space have a problem with that. But even banks like JP Morgan has blasted SEC saying, no, that's not. You don't know what you're talking about. You can't just create whatever rules you want. So even the banks are coming out in a small, what was the other one, SBA? Yeah, the Small Business Administration. I don't know why they care, but even they came out and said, no, that's not a good idea. But of course, Coinbase, A16Z, Blockchain Association also pushing back on this silly notion that someone like Coinbase can't be trusted with crypto, although they run one of the largest and most secure custody service there is, trusted by all these big institutions, right? But Gary's like, no, I know crypto and custody better than you guys. So I want to take control, and that's obviously getting a lot of heat right now because no one, literally no one, agrees with that. That's it. All right, guys. So tomorrow is a big day. Let's do some Q&A. All right. Let's see. Just Wes. Hey, George, how do you think about the alts currently? Well, no doubt they're weaker. Right now, seems like we have skipped the altcoin season and went into meme coin season. There's a ton of meme coins. On Twitter, it's like everything that's trending is a meme coin, right? A lot of meme coins. But you know what? At least it brings some excitement, right? Because things are kind of fuddish right now, right? A lot of fear about the debt ceiling, about banks, about inflation numbers, right? Earnings are not so good. Layoffs are happening, right? Bitcoin kind of stalled. Alts are draining. So there's a lot of fuddish stuff going on. So I'm glad to see at least there's some excitement. That's why people are flooding to ordinals and creating meme coins, right? Because at least there's something there. Now, I'm not saying that everyone should ape in or leap in, but, you know, at least it's something for people to focus on. So that's kind of how I feel. Harden and Embiid, let's see if they could defeat the Celtics. They can't do smart contracts yet. But you know what? Maybe in the future. And Stacks also helps them do that too. Stacks can process smart contracts. Right now it's just inscriptions. But, you know, who knows what else? Maybe native smart contracts is coming too. Our whole freaking government has become vague. I'd say pretty much so. Just put in the SEC wallet. That's what Gary wants. Gary wants everyone to just put all their crypto in his wallet because he knows best. He knows best. Do you think Gary Gensler will discuss Pepe during his next meeting? You mean Powell or Gensler? I don't know. I don't know. Do the Celtics lose? If they lost, I'd be happy because I hate the 76ers less than I hate the Celtics. Hate is a strong word. Dislike. Are they the reason why ordinals? Are they the reason why transaction fees are going up? Yes, because there's a lot of data that's trying to that's trying to be written, I guess, into these blocks, and these blocks only have a 1 meg block size, right? So when you have a lot of pictures, for example, that's being stored, it takes up a lot of space. So then you have to wait for the next block. Right, and then you have to wait for a next block. So there's a lot of unverified transactions, and that's why transaction fees are going up. Basically, for first time since 2017, we haven't seen this, where transaction fees actually are higher than mining rewards. Wow, Celtics got blown out. Does that mean they're out of the series? Thanks for amazing content, Philip. Appreciate that. Morpheus, come on, be nice now. Be nice. I don't get a lot of questions about alts anymore. Seems like the enthusiasm over alts have really died down. I mean, it's true. I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about with alts. I mean, there's only so much development that's happening right now with each project. I mean, everyone's still trying to pay attention to Pepe, which is coming up a little bit at 58, and there's so much meme coins. You know, Sui, you know, made a big splash, but, you know, down 73%, has not moved. There's not a whole lot of exciting things going on. Do I like staking ETH? I still don't stake my ETH. I should, but I don't. Dream NBA Finals? I don't know. I just want Lakers to win. I don't care who they play. 76ers, whoever. I just want Lakers to win. With more blocks having to be pushed through to keep up with Ordinals, will that accelerate the BTC halving and move it up any quicker? You know, that's a good question. And I think no, because it will adjust. The network adjusts based on the hash rate, based on pretty much the hash rate and the difficulty, right? So those things will adjust. So normally, I haven't seen the timeline for these halvings move up. They're always really according to plan. Solving the blocks is still a mystery. You know, it's around 10 minutes, but sometimes it's 8 minutes, sometimes it's 15 minutes. Sometimes blocks, you know, the next block found is a lot longer. So generally speaking, no, the timeline doesn't get pushed up. Solana is killing it while people are sleeping on it. I don't know about they're killing it. I mean, they just haven't gone down as much as, say, Polygon. I still don't know why Polygon is so weak. It's crazy that they're below $1 again. Not only that, below 90 cents. I don't know what's going on with Polygon. There's something going on. I can't figure it out. Angry Lola says, since it costs a bit to transfer my Gala to a wallet, I'm considering selling it, buying back Gala 2. Anyone know if the Gala 2 will be the same? It's supposed to be a one-to-one airdrop, right? But I don't know. After being airdropped, will people sell it or not? Don't know. You could if you think that's wiser, but, you know. Moving on, Gala out of Coinbase. You definitely want to do so. Will Gala stored on Trust Wallet migrate when the upgrade is on the 15th? From what I'm told, yes. I don't work for Gala. I don't get insight knowledge into Gala. So if it doesn't, don't blame me. But I'm told, yes, Trust Wallet will support the airdrop, right? But the only way to know that it is actually true, or if anything changes, you guys got to go follow Gala's Twitter or their Medium blog, because things could change last minute. Everyone is saying Lambo's the next Pepe. What do you think? I don't know. There's a lot of people saying a lot of stuff right now, but no one really knows. No one really knows. It's just roulette. If you want to participate in memes, go ahead. You know, but just know that they could dump. It's very dangerous. You don't want to put a lot of amount in there unless you absolutely are certain, and no one is absolutely certain. If you have 100,000 CRO, will you hold it until next bull run? Your thoughts on that? Me personally, I would have diversified. I would not have kept it all in CRO. That's me, because I like better projects. But if you like CRO better, you like their chain, their L1 better than everything else, then you could keep it, right? But for me, I would not have done that. Have you heard of MVI, Metaverse Index Token, which is a basket of tokens focused on gaming meta, such as Ape, Gala, like an index? Good idea to diversify exposure into this sector of Web3? No. No, because you already know. If you already know what the token is made up, if it's an index fund and you know what it's made up, why would you rely on them? They're going to charge something. They're going to charge some kind of fee. But, you know, you could buy them yourself. And you could pick out the better projects, right? So, for me, I would not do an index of anything. I would just research the ones I like and hold them. That's it. You don't ever really want to trust someone fully like that, Philip. Just because some company says, yeah, you know what, trust us, our index is the best, it could end up losing you more money. You just don't know. There's no guarantees. When I hit the market bell twice instead of 3 times, come on now. Come on. Don't be a sourpuss like that. But to make up for it, here's one more time. How much money to smoke weed live on stream? I don't know. Never puffed before, so yeah, probably no amount. No, I take that back. There will be an amount. I'm sure I will cave at some amount, but I don't know what that is. Try edible instead. Yeah, that's the better answer. Cadena AMA tomorrow. Any news from them? No, I've stopped trying. There's like infighting, and I don't want to get involved with that. And then the 2 guys I was talking to, you know, and I asked them a simple question about how they evaluate projects, what kind of grants do they give out to bring new, you know, kind of new projects into Cadena, and then the conversation kind of stopped. So I don't know what happened there, but you know, I tried. It was difficult, and now it's to a point where it's pointless, and I don't want to get involved with any infighting or anything. So I'll just leave it at that. OG says I have 50% Bitcoin, the rest diversified. That's the way to do it. 50, 25, 25. 50% Bitcoin, 25% in big caps, 25% small caps. That's a really good portfolio breakdown. Of course, you could deviate from that. You know, if you're a little more seasoned, right? Maybe you can diversify, and but you know, people don't really believe it. People, you know, always want to stock hard on the alts, right? Like load up on them. Well, look at the last 6 months, right? Or look at the last 3 months. How many altcoins have outperformed Bitcoin? Very, very little, right? That's why you don't want to give up on Bitcoin. Sometimes the strength is just there, and you're not going to find anything that outperforms it. If you're holding on to an alt that underperforms versus Bitcoin, then you're doing it wrong. Then you might as well just hold Bitcoin, right? So that's why you don't want to hold too little Bitcoin. Even though most people think, oh, Bitcoin's too big and too slow, and I want something faster moving. But, you know, there are times where Bitcoin just holds better and moves better. Jordan at GMX and GLP. Well, GMX is derivative exchange. I don't touch it because I don't play with derivatives. What's GLP? I don't know. I don't know what GLP is. It doesn't really come up. Unless you're talking about Jones GLP. I don't know what it is. Uh, 25% Bitcoin, 50%. Okay, 25, 25, 50. Okay, okay. You're probably suffering a little bit because of 50% alts right now. JRR. Okay. It is a liquid staking for GMX. Okay. Yeah, I don't touch GMX. I probably should play around with it more. But yeah, I don't really play around with it. All right, guys, let's conclude. Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow's a big day because we got another CPI inflation reading. Let's see what happens. Okay? Let's see if we get a good inflation reading or a bad one. You know what? Michael Saylor, you know, he's a fan. He's a fan of ordinals and fan of inscriptions. That's a big surprise, but he's a fan. That's great. That's great. The more usage we get out of Bitcoin and Bitcoin's network, the better it is. All right, guys. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Oh, I want to show you guys. Take a look at this before you go.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.